very responsive, very receptive to any questions or concerns, or, as a new parent, there's always something that will kind of trip you up. And they're always there to kind of, without any judgment or anything, to kind of lead you in the right direction.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
When we decided to move my eldest daughter, she was in grade 5, heading into grade 6. And we knew that we wanted to give her a bit of continuity, not to move in grade 6 and then grade 7 and then grade 9. So we were we realized that our options were for the most part limited to a private school. And so I did look at a number of different schools, but Turnbull is in our area. And I had a few friends who had sent their kids to Turnbull and spoke fairly highly of it. And so I went, I had a look at the school, I spoke with some of the staff, and I just, quite honestly, it was one of those things where I just got a very good vibe from the school. I felt like my daughter would fit in very well there. And so that was, once we made the decision to move my eldest daughter, we looked at my youngest daughter and realized that we were probably going to head in the same direction for her in terms of moving her out of full French school and into something more immersion or English orientated. So I thought, well, why would we not move her now? So the same kind of thing, I felt like she would be nurtured there. It has a very welcoming atmosphere, like as a parent and and for the kids too. And so it just felt like the right fit. As a parent, like moving your child is a big decision to make, right? Like you have to weigh up all the, they have their friends and this and that. And so I was quite concerned when they moved across, that were we making the right decision? We knew that academically and everything we were, but we kind of hoped that, socially things would work out for them too. And within 3 days of my eldest daughter in particular, I was quite worried about her, like her social life is important to her and her friends. And within 3 days, she was walking in and hugging new friends, right? So that kind of put me at ease there. And for her, she's always been average academically, and nothing out of the ordinary. But I have noticed, particularly in this last year, the school does a lot of work on helping them with their study skills and things like that from a very early age. And I've kind of seen it all come together for my eldest daughter this year, in that I see her putting in the effort and she's being rewarded for that effort. And she's so proud of herself. She'll send me messages saying, look what I got on my test. And she was never that way inclined before. So I've been really happy to see that side of her develop, the side that's wants to put in a little bit more effort and achieve those goals, right? So, and for my youngest, really, she broke out of her shell, and she just soared, and so that was great to see. She had been kind of struggling somewhat, and just in this environment, it really worked for her. I think the smaller class sizes, a little bit more attention to her. And also too, for her, I think the language was a bit of a barrier for her, which we had realized. My husband's Francophone, but I'm not, I'm Anglophone. And we started all our kids out in the same French school, and they're all at different levels of French now. And so one of the things that was important to my elder daughter was continuing with that French. Even though the school is not a French school, they do offer a really good French enrichment program. And so she's been able to hang on to that and keep up with her French, and we'll move into French immersion next year going into grade 9. Whereas for my younger daughter, the French was much more of a struggle. She struggled to really express. She loves to express herself. She loves to talk, right? And so I think just moving into this different environment, she was able to express herself much more easily, and she just flourished. Yeah. I know for my elder daughter, it's all the extracurricular stuff. There are a ton of opportunities, and she's quite a timid girl. Like, she's friendly and very caring, but she is quite timid. And when she made the move, she got a little bit of advice from a friend of mine whose son had been there, and she just said, look, there are so many opportunities, just try everything. And it's a school where they can try everything. They can try. There's sports teams of all different things, and they don't have to have a ton of experience to try out for it, to give it a go, to find out whether they're good at it or enjoy it, and then they can participate in different levels. So there, typically in a typical year, there are lots of lunchtime clubs and different things going on, after school sports and things like that. So she pretty much just signed herself up for everything, which totally shocked me. She discovered that she liked cross-country running. She discovered that she wanted to give badminton a go, even though she really didn't understand what it was when she went in. But the teachers and the staff just encourage this exploration of everything. She participated in the school play. They put on a production every year, and she got involved there, both on stage and behind the scenes, right? And then with the clubs at lunchtime and stuff, there's, book clubs and reading clubs and, all kinds of different clubs, and the teachers kind of run those clubs at different times throughout the year in different clubs. So yeah, and then for my younger daughter, again, I think it's probably more the social aspect, and she loves art. So she loves the arts. She's in grade 5, and to say she loves the art program sounds a little much, but she really does. She loves all the different things that they explore in art. They do all kinds of different things, and that's really hit something for her. So she joined the knitting club and the Zentangle club, and so was able to explore outside the classroom as well as inside the classroom. And then academically, like I said, the girls do okay, and my older daughter is doing better, but they don't necessarily love school per se and all that kind of thing. They have to work hard to learn what they learn, and so it takes time and patience. But like I said, I've seen with my older daughter that with the support that she's been given from the teachers, who just don't give up on them or don't let them give up on themselves, I think, right? So they're always there to encourage them, to say, okay, well, you didn't quite do as well as maybe you wanted this time, but what can we improve on? How can we help you? The teachers are always there to support them. So as much as they don't love the academic side of it, they are both doing very well academically, which is great. Watching my girls kind of develop and grow has been great. I think what I appreciate about the school is, quite honestly, it is a very welcoming school, and I'm not quite sure how they managed to create such a welcoming environment, but I've spoken to other parents who have said the same thing. I think the staff, the teachers, all the students, they they really work on, I suppose part of their mission or their philosophy is caring and excellence. And you can really see that in the way everybody approaches you. So it doesn't matter whether you have an issue or a concern, or just come to drop your kids off, there's always someone there to say hi and interact with, and so it is just a very welcoming environment. I've never felt like any concern or issue I might have with the girls is too small to contact a teacher about. And I think that's really important, when you're shift your kids to a new school. Their focus on contact with parents is quite high. Like, I was quite surprised a couple of weeks after the girls started, I got a phone call from their teachers and I was like, oh, what's up? Like, because you normally don't hear from a teacher unless there's something wrong. But it was just a check-in, just to say, things look good here. How are things going at home? How are you finding things? And I really appreciated that check-in and that ability to constantly check in with the teachers. Yeah. I don't know that for myself, or my girls, that there is anything that I would change, because I know that no school is perfect, for sure. But I can't think of a situation or a time or anything where I've had an issue of any description. So I do find it hard to answer that question. I'm just trying to think, because I did try to think about this before, and it sounds wrong to say there are no issues, because I'm sure there are, but for us, there have not been any issues. But also, I feel that if there had been an issue, if something had been a problem, that I felt quite welcome to address that with the school. Like, there are no barriers set up that you feel like you can't go and talk to anybody. I personally have not had a lot to do with the administrative team, like the principals and things like that. But I know that when I walk into the school, each of them know who I am, probably sometimes more than I knew who they were, especially initially. And are certainly very open and welcome. So I can't really think of anything, because honestly, they kind of tick all the boxes. They have a good grasp on academics, they have a good grasp on athletics, they have a good grasp on building character, and caring within the school, between the students and teachers, between the students themselves, and then out into the wider community. So yeah. Yeah, I think it is the openness, the welcoming. The kids, I'm sure the kids have issues between themselves from time to time. Like, kids are kids, and like we've said, like, nothing's perfect. But overall, the kids have a great respect for each other and are incredibly welcoming to new students. They have a lot of new students every year, and within a couple of days, you wouldn't know who was a new student and who'd been there from kindergarten. They certainly are very welcoming and open. I was amazed at the number of different activities that were available to the kids. Like I said, through all the lunchtime and after school programming and things like that, there was just something for everybody. Being a parent and having a child there, certainly caring, respect, acknowledging that everyone is different, but everybody has something amazing to offer. I think they strive for the kids to take on whatever it is and do it very well. Like, so to put 100% into whatever it is. So whether it be a club at lunchtime or, an exam that's coming up, They strive for the kids to really want to do their very best at everything they do, and they provide the support for them to do that, which I think is very important. It's one thing to say we want all our kids to do amazingly academically, but then they provide the support. You know, if the kids are struggling, the teachers are often there at lunchtimes to help them out, or like I said, they teach them to study from a very early age. So I think just that the idea that if you're going to do something, you should do it well, you should take the time, you should, just really want to achieve the best you can. I don't think there is a typical family, but I suppose everybody who's drawn to a private school is drawn there for certain reasons. So a typical family, I don't know, probably people who've decided that smaller class sizes is what's going to work for their children. People who are looking for their kids to be able to achieve in a lot of different areas, academically, in sports, in the arts. Like I said, it kind of has a broad scope that they do very well at. So someone who's looking for sort of a well-rounded education, maybe is the best way to put it. You know, I really feel like they see the whole child, so that families that are going there are looking for someone to see their child, like not just as another student, but as a person almost, right? Like, you know, and to nurture the growth of that student. So I think the community among the families and the parents we're all kind of like-minded in that way. There's some thought to caring within the community nearby, the community at large, so yeah. So I certainly can think of, like, I know the first year that the girls were there, so my eldest daughter was in grade 6 and my youngest daughter in grade 3. And my eldest daughter won a character award at the end of the year. And that meant a great deal to her. So it was an award that was given for someone who demonstrated sort of the character traits that they were looking for, of kindness, of openness, of determination, and I know she kind of came away like, really, did I win that? Like, how did I win an award? Like, and I saw that really raise her spirits, that she was valued for the person who she was. And like I said, in this last year, I've seen her rise academically, which I didn't think she necessarily would. And so there have been math tests, which sometimes she struggles with her math, or, you know, that she's come home and she's like been happy to show me her results, and for her brother and sister to see the results, whereas normally she would like hide them away. So that's been great. And I know my youngest daughter, like if I think about particular pieces of work, she was able to do some creative writing last year that she just loved. She got to combine like her vivid imagination in producing this story, and then her love of art by drawing all the pictures for this like little fairy tale book. Like, it was a twisted fairy tale, right? And she couldn't have been prouder that it was all put together in a book, and that it was, you know, it kind of combined two things that she really loved, right? Like using her imagination and being creative and drawing and things like that. So from the moment that I first interacted with the school, I felt very welcomed by the administration and the staff. I met with the registrar initially, and she was quite happy to talk to me about the school, what they did, what they were able to provide for their students, what they expected from their students, because of course it's not a one-way street. They have certain expectations of the students, and And I know that on that first day, I met a couple of teachers who were quite happy to stop and say hello. And again, I felt quite welcomed. And as the girls have gone to the school, I speak to the receptionist weekly at the front desk. It's been a bit different this year, of course, with COVID, but overall, they are very responsive, very receptive to any questions or concerns, or, as a new parent, there's always something that will kind of trip you up. And they're always there to kind of, without any judgment or anything, to kind of lead you in the right direction. Like I said, I haven't had a lot to do with the principals personally, but have always felt very comfortable chatting with them at different events and activities and things that go on. I have been involved in the parent volunteer committee, so I have actually spent a fair bit of time in the school. And so I've gotten to know quite a few of the teachers, whether my girls have had them as teachers or not, just through the different activities there, and always felt very welcome and yeah, and they're all very approachable, like, I think the three biggest reasons are that they will see your child as a whole person. And they will strive for them to achieve their best as a person academically, and kind of put them on the right path to kind of, no, let me start that again, sorry. So I think I would recommend the school to people, because I think firstly they will see your child as a whole person. So their development in terms of their character, their development in terms of their academics, and just becoming a citizen of the community and then the wider global community, which I think are all important things as kids leave there in grade 8. So they're heading out into the world a little larger. So to have found that. I think the staff are incredibly dedicated. They are very approachable. And so I think that is very important, and communication is a big thing. They communicate with parents directly all the time. And the third thing, I just think I've seen my girls like really grow and come out of themselves and develop, and I think that's a really important thing. So yeah, those are the reasons that I would recommend it to friends for sure. I actually think that the best advice that was given to us, I would pass on, is that the school provides so many opportunities. So don't limit yourself. Try everything. Get in there. You don't have to love it. You don't have to stick with it, but you will have the opportunity to try many different things. So, for the kids to open themselves up to try as many different things as they can, because they're bound to find something that becomes a bit of a passion somewhere along the line. And for the parents, like for me, I don't know, just to relax and just let it happen, because I think it's good.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.